I always thought my quantum leap came when I reconnected with my soulmate and moved to my dream home, but I just realized it actually happened a year before that. You might be making multiple leaps in one timeline and not even realize it. So, I'm preparing to work on step 6 of my quantum leaping series, which is nervous system regulation and energetic chaos. And as I'm going back tracking my quantum leaps, but one specifically, I had a major realization. I realized that part of my quantum leap happened a year prior when I left a bar job and I had been working in the bar industry for over 10 years. And I left that company, had a complete identity shift, started making content working for a company. And not only that, I was making content for them. And now I am one of the faces of their company in their commercials. And I realized even further, I thought my quantum leap would look like a big movie role or my own TV show or something like that. But what's even weirder was when I was little, I used to love Home Improvement. Anyone else have a crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas? I used to watch that show religiously, and I really, really loved the Tool Time girls, Pamela Anderson and Debbie Dunning. Now, they're doing a much sexier version of what the kind of commercials I'm doing are, but I remember thinking, what a cool job. They were like the hot girls in this like home improvement show, and what's weird is now I am like using my acting skills. I'm the female in these TNC commercials, and it's a much more grounded, different sort of character, you want to say. But it's weird that I realized that that was something that I liked so much as a child, and now I'm basically doing that. And I would have never put that together. But what's even bigger is the identity I stepped away from when I finally left working in bars and clubs, because that was tied to so many feelings of survival and struggling. And just even leaving that whole industry completely shifted my identity. And so for a year before I made my major quantum leap, I was working in this new industry. I was using my acting skills. I've been using my acting skills. I'm creating content, which I absolutely love to do. I have a total freedom of schedule. I've been expanded in so many ways. I've learned so many things. I'm so much happier. But I realized that that was actually part of the quantum leap too. I don't think the quantum leap that I have now, living with my soon to be husband and living in my dream home, that girl that was working in the bars could not have had this life. So, what happens when you are quantum leaping is you might have actually already had a part of your quantum leap and your whole life hasn't shifted. But if you look back, you will see that something has shifted. And maybe that needed to shift first in order for you to hold the frequency of the new life. Because the thing about quantum jumping is when you jump to a new reality, you have to be a vibrational match to the frequency of the reality that you are wanting to exist in. And one of the steps in quantum leaping, when I was talking about letting go and collapsing things, you're letting go of old identities, people, places, and things that are no longer a vibrational match. I thought it was just letting go of the relationship I was in and leaving a city I didn't like. And then, boom, suddenly I'm in my dream home with my soulmate. But no, I actually had to let go of a whole identity of survival, of struggle, of low self worth, of working in places that I did not like, that I hated going to. I had to let go of that to fully hold the identity of the woman who is now about to marry her soulmate and lives in her dream home. I don't know if that's confirmation or if that's just the airplanes outside. But I had to totally become a different person before I could even live the life I'm living now. When you are making a quantum leap, you have to become a completely new person. You have to be able to hold the energetic frequency of the version of you that's already living in that reality, because there's a version of you that's living on the timeline you want, but they have different thoughts about themselves and about reality. They have different beliefs about themselves and about reality, and they have a different energetic frequency. They also have a different identity. This is why the version of you that lives on the timeline you want to live on might feel so far away from you, because your identities are so different, because they fully are at the vibrational frequency of what they want. That's how we jump to new realities. That's how we manifest things. We become a vibrational match to that reality. We become a vibrational match to that thing, whether that thing be a relationship, a job, a home, a group of friends. You have to become a vibrational match. And in order to stay in that reality and actually jump to that reality, you have to hold that frequency. That has to become your dominant frequency. When you're doing quantum leaping work, there becomes a point when your vibration shifts and you become more a match than you were before, meaning Your vibration has raised up high enough and has sustained that frequency long enough that you are now a match to what you are wanting. So, you might have already made a quantum leap and it seems like the big thing that you want hasn't shown up yet, but maybe something else has shifted. Maybe you let go of a toxic job. Maybe you let go of a toxic friendship. Maybe you just started doing like being healthier, going to the gym, doing something different than the old version of you wouldn't have done in the past. And that is actually part of the quantum leap. It's almost like the new timeline that I'm on now. I could not be working in the bar industry and like I can't even remember. I can remember it, but it feels like what did ChatGPT say to me this morning? Your old life couldn't even find you if it had GPS. That's what it feels like. Like when I think about that version of me, and I'm grateful to her because she got me here, I can't even imagine working in that industry anymore because it's not a vibrational match to who I am now. But for a full year, that was the shift. And yes, it was a shift and it was very uncomfortable. I was in step 6, which I'm going to go into in the next video, which is about energetic chaos and nervous system regulation. I had to regulate my nervous system to feel safe in the identity of someone that was not stuck in struggle, someone that wasn't working in a bar, someone that wasn't around toxic energy all the time. And I was a match to that. That's why I was working there. But when I let go of that identity and for a year cultivated a slightly new identity, then I was able to actually leave a relationship that wasn't serving me, leave a home that wasn't serving me, and really quantum leap to where now I can tell you it's a completely different life. So you might have already collapsed timelines, but you need to change your frequency. It might seem incremental because that's actually how you sustain the new identity and the new reality. So when you're quantum leaping, you might not even realize it. For the big part of the quantum leap, yeah, I realized I live in a different home and I'm living with my soulmate now. Like that was obvious to my physical senses that like life is different. But sometimes it can feel like chaos. Like it felt very chaotic when I left the bar job. I felt weird not being there. I felt like I needed to be more in a hustling energy. It felt strange. But it also felt, and it felt weird for me to be calm. It felt weird for me to have a more stable job, be doing things that I enjoyed more and things that were more creative every single day. That felt weird for a while. Now it feels totally normal. What happens, you realize it, like this just clicked for me literally today when you look back and you go, oh my God, I'm not them anymore. You completely have left the identity of the version of you that lived on that timeline. And like I said, I had to let go of that identity first before I could get the real. I mean, that was a quantum leap, but the biggest part of my quantum leap now, the part that I'm like, yes, this is absolutely a new reality. I'm in the reality that I was literally having dreams about. That part of that timeline had to collapse first. So if you feel like you're in a weird space right now, if you know you're doing the work, if you notice things are shifting, but the big thing like the guy or the house or the job hasn't shown up yet, maybe you're not at the energetic frequency yet to hold that. You haven't calibrated your energy enough to hold on to that. So keep collapsing old timelines, keep letting go of identities that no longer serving you, keep walking in the direction of the version of you that's already living on that timeline. Keep acting like them, keep taking aligned action, keep speaking like them, keep shifting your beliefs to believe what they believe about reality, and keep raising your vibration. Abraham Hicks' work is really powerful for this because they talk about like sustaining your vibrational frequency, and it's really about cultivating the vibration of the like cultivating your vibration to match the reality that you want to live in. So start doing things that make you feel like you live in that reality, whether that be music, whether that be dancing, whether that be hanging out with certain people. Start doing things that just make you feel better and normalize your body, mind, and spirit that feeling good is good. Because when I look back on the version of me that was in survival, like it didn't feel good not to hustle. It didn't feel good not to be like stressed out. I don't know. That was just the frequency I was in. Like I was making money, but it was like this, it didn't feel good. It felt like hustly and survival and panicky. And I don't know how to explain it, but it was not how I feel now. It's all about cultivating your vibration to match the frequency of the reality that you want to live in. Because there's a version of you that's living on that reality and they have a different vibrational frequency. But since they have it, you can have it too. You can shift your frequency, you can shift your beliefs, and you can shift your identity. And one day you will look back and you will go, oh my God, I am not that version of me anymore. I'm a completely new version of me. I'm in a completely new reality. I timeline jumped and it was totally worth it. Much love.